Debt collectors are crossing the line now. Debt collectors are actually crossing the line. They feel emboldened because the CFPB has had the knees chopped out from under them, and there is really no enforcement of the regulations that were put in place, where all of these debt collectors agreed that they were going to move forward with these guidelines that were put in place by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If you have issues with debt collectors, you're going to want to watch this video. And if you don't have any right now, maybe a friend or family member has some issues, and you're going to want to know what rights they have and also rights for you, just in case you ever encounter dealing with a debt collector. And just because you don't owe a debt collector, this is one of the biggest misconceptions that happen. We deal with this almost every day or every week at the credit repair shop, is where a debt collector is actually coming after someone who does not actually owe the debt. I know that sounds crazy, it sounds unbelievable, but that is true. So regardless if you owe debt collectors or not, you're going to want to watch this video to at least know your rights. And I believe that that's a good thing for all of us to know. So have you ever felt trapped, anxious, or even embarrassed because debt collectors keep blowing up your phone or even contacting your job? Yes, contacting your job. You're not alone. And today I'm going to show you exactly what to do when debt collectors cross the line. This isn't just about phone calls or one letter. It's about your peace of mind, your legal rights, your financial dignity. Whether you're behind on payments due to hardship or facing aggressive collections trying to intimidate you, what's at stake is more than just your money. It's about how you're treated as a human being. Here's the truth. Debt collectors are regulated by law. The Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, the FDCPA, says they cannot harass, threaten, lie, or contact you at odd hours. And if they do, you can take action and you can even sue them in most cases. So now, first, I need you to document everything. If you're dealing with debt collectors, I want you to save your voicemails. I want you to save your text messages. I want you to save your social media contacts, because they're allowed to contact you in your direct messages in your social media account. You need to collect and keep all of that information. Write down the dates and time of every call, every contact, because this will turn into evidence against them. Before I continue, here's one that's very important. It's called a 7 and 7 rule. This is where a debt collector can try to contact you once per day for 7 days, but if they get in touch with you and you speak to them and you tell them, hey, I don't have the money right now, I'll, send me the information that you're talking about, whatever it is, that contact, they cannot call, email, DM you, text, nothing for another 7 days. They cannot. If they do, they're violating the law, and you can get that debt thrown out. So now, the next thing that I need you to do is I need you to send them a written debt validation. So if a debt collector calls you, they don't want you to know that you have a right to validate the debt. They're just going to try to put a lot of pressure on you. They're going to try to make you feel a certain way, and they're going to say, hey, you need to pay this debt. They're going to be straightforward with it. They use scripts on this. They know how to use psychology on people. You have a right to have them send you the information if they haven't done that yet in writing. They're supposed to do that. You get that information, you need to send a certified debt validation letter to them, because they must prove everything that they're talking about and prove how they became the owner of that debt. And it's not just about becoming the owner of the debt. It's about proving to you how they came up with that amount. If they're not the original creditor, how did they come up with the amount that they claim that you owe? Not just by getting some numbers on a piece of paper. They need all of the documentation. So, and I'll speak to you on how you can do that later, but you need to do that. If you receive a letter from a debt collector and you don't respond to that letter within the time frame that's on there, every debt collection letter shows you a time frame that you need to respond to dispute it. You can dispute any or all of it. If you don't dispute it within that specified period of time, which is usually 30 days, they can put that information on your credit report and proceed as if you're saying yes to that debt. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the way that the law is written. If you don't respond, you're saying yes. That's how you need to think about it. When you're dealing with debt collectors and they're sending you stuff in the mail, they're sending you emails, texts, all of that stuff. If you don't respond by law with the Fair Debt Collectors Practices Act, you are actually saying that you owe the debt. I know that sounds crazy. So you have a right to tell debt collectors when and how they can contact you. You can send them a letter and tell them that they should only contact you in writing. It's a cease and desist letter where you just tell them you tell them how you want them to communicate with you. Or you could say, I don't want you to communicate with me at all, and you have your reasons behind that. That's legal. And if they break it, you've got leverage. This is the thing, you got leverage. Now, in the past, you could file complaints with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and they would do something about it. Right now, I don't know how that's going to work. You should still take that option if you want to do that, or you can get with companies like ours and we could send out demand letters to them directly to their legal department for you. You can also get with your state your state attorney general's office. Sometimes they'll do some stuff, but usually if it's not a certain dollar amount, they're not going to really take much action. And I wish that it wasn't that way. But I'm just telling you from experience, from number one, dealing with this with myself, and also helping clients who came to us and they said that they sent stuff to the CFPB, they sent stuff to the state attorney general's office, and they seemed to had gotten nowhere. Not to say that those offices don't do good work, but they do take higher profile cases. Next, if things get really bad, you might be entitled to $1,000 in statutory damages plus any fees if you use an attorney or a service to help you prepare your court document. Remember this: if you say nothing, they send you debt collection letters, and you say nothing, you're actually saying yes. So be very careful. Be very careful. I want to talk about one of our viewers, James from Ohio. He was getting over 10 calls a day, even at work. After documenting the calls and sending validation requests, the collector went silent. And then he also filed a complaint with the CFPB, and they totally wiped out all of the debt that they were trying to come after him. So this was the steps. He documented the information, sent out debt validation. They did not respond. They have to acknowledge your debt validation within 5 days on your credit reports if they have it on there. If it's not on your credit reports, they have to respond back to you within 30 days. They didn't do that. They just went silent. He went ahead, filed with CFPB, and then they sent back that they're going to cease all collection activity. This could also be done without going to the CFPB. So just because they're not in full action right now, this is something that we've been able to get done with our client. As a matter of fact, with all of the when you sign up for credit repair with the credit repair shop, we do this stuff automatically for you. It's part of my 8-point validation system, is that we're going to send out debt validations to every debt collector that is showing up on your credit reports, because we want them to be put on notice that, even though you didn't do it, we want to put it in writing so we can start that process. And this was a success of someone who had watched one of my videos and decided to do that type of stuff to get his debt collection, a group of his debt collectors to stop coming after him. So here's the big picture, is that you have power. Harassment doesn't mean you're guilty. Remember I said they use psychological tricks on you. They're using scripts. So it doesn't mean that you need to be helpless. It doesn't mean that you need to be paralyzed. When you understand your rights and you take clear action, you don't just stop the harassment. You start to build confidence within yourself. And that's what I'm all about. If you can get that power, you can get that confidence back, you'll do things. And some of the times, I'm just telling you from experience, some of the times the first thing that you do may not work or may not get the reaction that you wanted. But that don't stop there. Don't be a quitter. Just keep moving forward and it will get done. So if you want help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes It Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website yournumber3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, you got debt collection letters, I'm going to give you 3 options. Option number 1 is the free option. Link below this video. You can get my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations, debt validation, cease and desist collection activities letter. You got to put in your information. You know, it's basically a template. The next option is if you want us to do it for you, you can go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. You'll see a link on there, and it only costs $59. We'll do everything, send a certified mail, get the tracking to you. Or you can go to summonsmaster.com and you can upload your debt collection letter. It will scan it, and then it'll pull down the data, create an exclusive certified debt validation letter for you. All you got to do is sign and send it out. You don't even got to date it. All you got to do is sign it, send it out certified mail. It can stop most debt collectors after you. If you're getting sued by a debt collector, it's past this step here. Go to summonsmaster.com, upload your summons. It'll create a summons for you, a fully formatted response to every allegation and a defense to help you potentially win your case. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.